So this is a motion by Angela, it looks like, or no, it looks like, see, the plaintiffs are flip-flopped on this. Let me make sure I get it. This is a motion by Laura to remove parenting restrictions that are currently in place on parenting time. Angela, did you get a copy of that motion?
I did.
Okay. Anything you want to add to that, Laura, before we hear from Angela?
No, sir. Everything's stated.
Okay. Angela, your thoughts, please.
Thank you. I was a little surprised because we've been really good lately to receive this in the mail, but I did receive it. And to be honest, I don't have a ton of objection with it. Laura's done a lot of things well, and we've been working together fairly well. My only concern for the continued action, and I'm not sure how to move for that, is right after receiving this, unfortunately, just last Friday, the June 27th, we had gotten another alert from Soberlink that was a positive test. Though I know Laura, has always let me know that it's a false positive. She's following up with the Soberlink. I know she's had multiple conversations with them and looking at those pieces. I can't attest to I following the Soberlink, and so assuming as you watch those retesting every 15 minutes as that VCA goes down, assuming that it's accurate and not a false positive. At the same time, they were out of town at that point, and I did confirm that she was in a stable position and I'm able to talk to my daughter. And so felt okay at that point, whether it was positive or false positive. Don't want to stand in the way of future therapy. I know I received her motion that with the piece with the counselor, if she needs other therapies, I don't want to stand in that way from an insurance perspective. My biggest concern is with the history of addiction in general, in the future, for safety wise, if I do have a concern, what would be recommended? Am I able to, if we don't do the Soberlink any further on a regular basis, if I do have a concern, is that something that I should, am I allowed to request a breathalyzer at that point, as having that primary custody? I just want to be able to keep, my daughter safe. And this was just one of the ways that we knew. So not trying to take away, anything. But I also want to know that with an addiction and as evidence that things do cycle sometimes, what it would be my way to protect.
Thank you. Was that another false positive, Laura?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you're getting that documentation from Soberlink?
Yes, sir.
These are obviously tough cases. I know that Soberlink is a difficult thing, and sometimes there are false positives. I don't know. They, life is not as cut and dry as they are if you're on probation for something. If you're on probation with something and you either miss a test or it tests positive, then obviously they treat it accordingly. I try and at least give people the benefit of the doubt. But I fully concur with Laura and Angela both that obviously we don't want to stand in the way of this, and but there should be redress for in the future. So what I'm going to do is this. I will grant your motion, Laura, in part, and I will remove the Soberlink requirement at this time. However, if there is any evidence of alcohol use 12 hours prior to or during your parenting time, any evidence whatsoever, then Laura will have the opportunity, or Angela, either one of you will have the opportunity to bring that issue back in front of me, and I'll consider what evidence is there. And if it suggests that she utilized substances, then I will put the Soberlink back on. Okay.
Absolutely
So
fair. Thank you.
I hope that, and addiction is a tough thing, and it's one of those battles that you fight on a daily basis, every day. It doesn't go away. So I'm proud of both of you, really, for working through this. Proud of you, Laura, for your continued sobriety. I hope that that everybody can understand that while I like you both, my issue is the best interest of the child. That's what I'm here for. You two are adults, you two, but I'm interested in that. So if you want to prepare an order to that effect, Laura, you go to the Legal Assistance Center, and you can prepare an order that says I'm lifting the Soberlink requirement. However, if there's any evidence of any illegal substances or alcohol 12 hours prior or during parenting time, then Angela has the right to re-petition this court and ask that Soberlink be placed back on. So I need an order to that effect. And then once presented, I'll sign that. Okay,
Is that from Angela or Laura?
Laura, it's your motion.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, that's from
And
me.
does that also count therapy? Because that was the court order too.
Yeah, I'm gonna, as far as therapy is concerned, I think it's mental health counseling. If you're, if you don't think, if the parties don't think, mental health, because there's already a requirement in there. It says, paragraph I, mental health counseling. Plaintiff shall continue her mental health counseling. Defendant shall continue her individualized counseling, focus on substance abuse. The party shall continue this counseling until further order of the court or upon mutual agreement. Are you both agreed to that? That you both no longer need any of that?
I guess my specific question was to not have to see the therapist at Pine Rest for alcohol abuse. That I could pick a personal therapist and move on from that. I'm more than willing to do that, and I know that I need that in order to continue on my path.
This or Angela.
Yeah, I totally, like I said, I don't want to stand in the way if the focus needs to be shifted for therapy. I agree and appreciate the question of continued therapy, and I think for all of us is usually a helpful piece.
Put that in the order too, Laura.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice doing business with you both.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your time.
Have a great 4th of July.
You too.
You as well.
Adjourned.
Thank you.